Hi folks, and welcome to my three-part episode, I guess, of my favorite Star Wars characters. This is by far the most voted on topic you wanted to hear from. It's the hardest one for me, which is why I'm doing three different lists here. Today's list will be on Force users only, and I'm gonna forget tons of people, but I don't care. These were the first 10 that came to my mind that I think I'm happy with. So these are the ones that I like the best. Number 10 is Streen. Streen is a hermit from the Jedi Academy trilogy. Luke found him, brought him into his academy, first year student. He just seemed interesting, and I wanted to know much more about him. Besides a few mentions, and of course Leviathan in the comic book, you didn't get to see that much of him. One of my favorite moments is you never know how strong he is because he's so quiet. But then during the battle against Admiral Dalla's fleet, he basically takes his hands and collapses them together and slams those two TIE fighters into each other. And I always thought that was a really cool scene. So I wish we could have seen more of him, but Streen is my number 10. You know, it really is a unique idea to have this Force user who's a hermit and kind of secluded from the rest of the galaxy. And anyway, my number 9 is Xanatos. Yes, from the Jedi Apprentice series. I absolutely love this character. He was the villain for the first story arc, Qui-Gon Jinn's apprentice. The whole reason Qui-Gon is hesitant to take on Obi-Wan. There's just a lot going on with this character. We get to hear a lot of his backstory. And as I was looking over my bookshelf, I saw the Jedi Apprentice series, and the name popped up. I said, you know what? I really like him. And I wrote him down. I thought it'd be an honorable mention, but I was like, no, I really do think he's a great character. So he makes number 9 on my list. Now, switching over to the comic books, oh man, Quinlan Vos is my number 8. Quinlan Vos is a character created by John Ostrander. He saw a character, I think, in the Phantom Menace and went, hey, I can make a Jedi out of this guy. And man, was it good. Was it good. Those Star Wars books, which eventually turned into Star Wars Republic, the comic series, were just fantastic. And we got to see Quinlan Vos's story kind of arc, right? He has a troubled past. Things really start getting dark in the Clone Wars as he starts teaming up with Dooku and everything. And there's just a great story. And he has that great Force ability too, where he can call up images of the past from an object, which I don't think we'd ever seen before. John Ostrander created such a great character. That's why I was sad to hear him say that the new Quinlan Vos and the novel and whatnot isn't the Quinlan Vos he created. And I haven't read the new stuff, but I'm glad I haven't, because I like the old Quinlan Vos. I like the character that he gave us. And I think that character is so awesome, which is why he's my number 8. My number 7, sticking with the comic books, is Zane Carrick. I love Zane from Knights of the Old Republic. He is the screw-up goofball who just lands on top, right, at first. And then slowly he's learning. And he can get by not on his own volition, but through the help of his friends, too. And Zane always does the right thing. And I know there's a big thing. We talked about this in my reviews about New Republic War. A lot of people are like, that's not Zane. Oh, well, no, he's grown up now, so I guess he's a little bit different, a little bit more confident and everything. But Zane's a character you want to cheer for. John Jackson Miller did a great job building that character. And to be honest, if Zane had been your run-of-the-mill, just young Padawan or whatnot, who was just learning the Force, but pretty good. He had a special talent or something. He was special than everyone else, which is why he escaped the rest of his teammates' betrayal. It wouldn't have been as enticing a character, right? So Zane Carrick, my number 7. My number 6 is Nomi Sunrider. I've always liked Nomi Sunrider. I think she's awesome from Tales of the Jedi. Her story arc's really good. Not the best story arc from Tales of the Jedi, but a good one nonetheless. And I like it because I can't remember where I read this. I looked at my Force book and my guide to the Force or whatever, and I didn't see it in there, so I must have read it somewhere else. But she's one of the few Jedi who use one of the defenses of lightsabers, one of the battle stances. She uses number whatever, 4, whichever one it is, the defense one, right? She's not the best at, lightsaber duels, but she can block and parry, and that's what she does, and she wears her opponents down and then strikes. And I thought that was unique because I think she and one other person in whatever article I'm thinking about mentioned that they were the only ones that use that technique, And I was like, that's pretty cool. So just another thing that I've always liked about Nomi Sunrider. I love Tales of the Jedi, so of course she's going to be on this list. So number five, let me see if I can find number 5. There it is. No one's going to be happy about this, but Calista, I love Calista. I think she's a great character. Of course, I wanted her with Luke. She's someone that had the Force and then didn't. You say, well, Matt, she's technically not a Force user, I guess. And, well, she was, and then she lost the Force, just like someone else on my list here. And I loved her with Luke. I thought they were the perfect match, especially when she lost her connection to the Force, because here's Luke, this big, powerful Force user, and he's in love with a girl who used to use the Force, knows what it feels like, know what he's talking about, but can't use it right now. I just thought that was really good. I loved it. I would have preferred that Luke be married to a non-Force user. That was me. I'm one of just a few people in the galaxy who wanted Luke and Calista together. But I really do like her, and she's number 5 here. And remember, this is my taste here. People who I like. My number 4, Saba Sabatine, one of the first ones I came up with. In fact, these were I think she was one of the first 4. So I came up with, because I love her. Troy Denning's portrayal of her, she makes jokes, she's fearless, the laughing, the hiss laughter. I like everything about her. She's very wise and everything. Just a perfect combination of a character. And thankfully, of course, Troy Denning's writing the rest of the New Jedi Order, and then Legacy of the Force, then Fate of the Jedi. She comes back because Troy Denning's writing, and I just love her. She's just a great character, just an awesome character, non-human character. Is that the only non-human on my list? Kind of, yeah, I guess it is. That's kind of wild. But I really love Saba Sabatine. My number 3 goes back to the comic books. You already know it's Yuli Keldroma. Oh, I love his story, and even without the redemption, the comic book redemption, I still would have had him. Probably not this high. I'll be honest. He probably would have made it at number 8 or something, or 7 or something. He would have been lower if not for redemption. But when redemption came out, and you see that he just can't be redeemed. I mean, he's not going to get his Force powers back ever. That is such a tragic but awesome tale, and I absolutely love it. Yuli Keldroma, my number 3. A lot of comic book characters here, but now that's where the comic books stop here, folks. My number 2, Jacen Solo, of course, then later Darth Caedus. I just absolutely think his character arc, he started off as the Aquaman of Star Wars, which I absolutely hated. And I was like, oh, come on, he's so worthless. And Jane is good at fighting. Jane is good at piloting. She's good at mechanicking. And Jacen talks to fish. It's just awful. But then in New Jedi Order, they really gave him the story arc. Then he became powerful. Then became intellectual. A student of the Force, knew more than Luke at one time, or knew a little bit more tricks than Luke did at the time. And then eventually, sadly, fell to the dark side. So he's got this tragic tale. I love it. I love that even afterwards, when they see his ghost in the pool of Fate of the Jedi, where he's basically saying, I'm not sorry for killing Mara. I did what I had to do. Sorry, not sorry. And yeah, don't make him apologize. Was he wrong? Yes, he was wrong, but still, they just kept true to the Darth Caedus character. Jason's still not going back over. He lived his life with no regrets, right? No regrets at the end. He even says that afterwards, and I absolutely love that. I love Jacen Solo as a character. I think he's awesome. Yes, he was supposed to die in New Jedi Order, and if he did, I might not have liked him as much. He might not be on this list at all, but because his story just was so grand afterwards, I got to put him at this list. And folks, number 1, you know it, it's Kip Durian, right? It's no secret that I love Kip Durian. I grew up reading him. He was my age when I was reading the Jedi Academy trilogy, and he was always my age in the books and everything, and I saw his point of view a lot. And yes, his point of view isn't always right? He's the kind of gray Jedi before there were gray Jedi. But I agreed with everything he said and thought, and I still do today. I feel like if I was a Jedi, I know I wouldn't be Luke. I wouldn't be perfect, or not, or like his style or whatnot. I wouldn't be the wisest, grandest, greatest. I'd be a Kip Durian, and I think a lot of people would. They don't want to admit it, but I think a lot of people would. Anyway, no surprise not seeing Corran Horn on here. I'm not a fan. But hey, let me know in the comments, what are your favorite Force-using characters in the EU? And I'll see you next time.